guys. It is Caesura versus Anticitizen. Caesura playing random, and of course sticking with Terran. We have Game 2, Polar Night. Let's do this. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. And here we go. In the top part of the map, we have the player who needs to actually win this game in order to stay in this series. It is the Zerg player sporting the orange, Anticitizen. Also a member of the Giant Bomb Squad. A team of basically Giant Bomb fans on StarCraft 2. At the bottom of the map we have his opponent who took the first game and wants to take this one in order to close out the series. It is Caesura in the blue as the Terran. So Caesura, as I said before, he's off racing. He's not playing as a true random, like he didn't pick random and then get whatever race it gives him. He just rolled some dice beforehand and then picked Terran, which, you know, is like kind of the more civil way of playing random. Let's just put it that way. Maybe I don't have a lot of love for the existence of the random race in StarCraft 2 or the fact that it hides your race, but whatever. Anyway, little in-game banter between the two players here. Not in a show match. In front of the chat that you heart. Oh god, what did I miss? What am I missing here? I don't know. Oh, he said BCs. Okay. A little quick flash of the chat right there. Enough for me to tell what's going on. I hurt you more than you do. Damn straight. Anyway, neither player doing anything particularly awkward or crazy just yet. You know, got the supply depot up here. And actually, I take that back. For whatever reason, Caesura is not building a barracks, which means I think he's actually going naked command center first here. Just go for as much economy advantage as possible. Nope, now he's building. Okay, he's doing command center on the high ground. All right, let's see how much. Let's see if Anticitizen is a really big fan of cats here or not for that hatchery on the low ground. I mean, he's already going for a hatch himself, so I don't think he can actually do it at this point. But wouldn't be surprised if he tries to block it in some way. Command center and barracks coming out here. So this is a very strong economic play from the Terran as long as he doesn't actually get his natural blocked. If he can get away with this, he can get a very nice position in the game. Important thing to note is that since we're on Polar Night, we've got these wonderful, extremely wide open bases that you can see here as the usual typical thirds that a person will take. This one's probably the more favored in a lot of cases. Got that ramp here with a watchtower, so you can kind of keep an eye on this space. This can be walled off pretty easily. This one at the back, while, you know, the one that you would think is the base that people would like to take is probably the one they would generally want to have if they had any choice. These rocks here and these rocks here make that a very kind of time-expensive base to actually try and pick up. So most players will not go for them unless they're crazy or me. When I say or me, I mean that I am neither crazy nor good. I'm just bad. Anyway, you know, nothing particularly important to comment on just yet. Grabbing the bunker on the low ground, most likely going to be moving this command center down there as soon as this orbital is finished. Getting that wall off started, and we're going to see what these players have in store for us as we get into the kind of the two-base phase here. Relatively on top of his mules here. You can tell some sign that Caesura doesn't normally play this race all the time. The fact that he saved up on that much scans, wasn't really consistently using the mules right there. And then again, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe he wants to keep them in order to have a scan available for a potential roach rush, but I don't think he's seen anything that implies that's coming. In fact, we have a third base here from Anticitizen. This is going for more of a economic play for now. It is possible that he may just be using that as a macro hatch. Sometimes players will disguise a fast roach play by going for that third base and then not droning up at it. It's not unheard of. Risky, but not unheard of. And I'm not sure if that actually qualifies as an opening or not. It looks like, judging from the circles here, that these two buildings are actually just close enough together that they do form a tight wall. But you never know. I mean, you saw me make that assumption in the other match earlier today, and definitely didn't work out that way. Definitely had a hole there where I thought there was none. Okay. Starting the creep spread. Make sure he gets that out. You know, I've actually been seeing a lot of players in the Nation Wars. Like, I think it was... I'm trying to think of who was doing this. For some reason, I want to say Todd, but I don't think he plays Zerg. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Damaga. We use Damaga as an example. Is they're not only doing this creep spread, when they get the lair tech, they'll actually drag their overlords at the front of the creep and just start spilling creep everywhere to make it spread a little bit quicker, and then place a new creep tumor with their queens. And they can get across the map with a creep really fast that way. Some Hellions at the front here, and I can't really blame Caesura for this. I mean, it worked really well last time, so why not hit him with some Hellions again? And for certain, I can bet Anticitizen is going to be pretty expecting this coming at him. And there you go, a couple evolution chambers coming up at the front to kind of limit the ability of the Hellions to actually get into the base. Putting more creep tumors down to get that creep spread going. And here comes the Hellions. He's up to 6. Checking the watchtowers first. Looks like he wants to clear those off just in case. Aren't any Zerglings out here to watch for this coming, so this Overlord is most likely going to be the first indication that he's going to have that anything's wrong. Difficulty here, though, is that the creep has not yet connected here, so he can actually have free reign over this third base for a short period of time. Ooh, fast fourth from Anticitizen. Let's see if that's going to be enough. Here we go. We have a bunch of Hellions actually moving into the third. There's some drones here, so we'll be able to get these if they're not running away right away. There they go. 2 drones die immediately. And, wow, yet more Hellions actually backing this up on top of that. You saw how this worked last time. Looks like he's actually got something of a wall set up this time. He's going to try and surround the Hellions if he can. Hellions actually running toward the base, not actually dealing with the Zerglings. Zerglings get a decent surface area on the Hellions at first, but unfortunately the Hellions getting in between the mineral lines basically make continuing that engagement a poor decision. And for now, it seems that Anticitizen has discouraged this, at least in the short term, without taking too much damage. He's going to lose these Zerglings probably, though, which is not going to help him out at all here. He is putting a lot of damage on the Hellions, but really would... Holy crap, he really is doing it. Battle cruisers it is from Caesura. It looks like he has seen Anticitizen's plea that he does not go for the cattle bruisers in this game and has denied it. Meanwhile, the Hellions are still positioned to actually get some work done here. There's a decent number of Lings who now have speed, and they actually just run straight at the Hellions in a kind of line formation and die really horribly. So now the Hellions pretty much have free reign for a bit here to actually just poke away at the creep, but it looks like Caesura doesn't want to do that. He's actually just going to take his Hellions back home, maybe repair him up, upgrade him a bit, try to go for a drop later or something like that. He is going to have the armory, so wouldn't be surprised if I do see him pick up those servos and get that transformation tech in there. Ling's moving out across the map. Yamato Cannon has actually just finished. I never expect to look down at 10 minutes and see that. He's going to see the battle cruiser right here if it actually fires. There we go. A couple shots going off the Lings, but it was only for a moment there. The question is, did Anticitizen actually see that? And we can see back home the Spire is actually just about to finish, and he's going for a second Spire on top of that. Looks like big Mutaball might be his way of pushing the issue, so to speak, with the battle cruisers. I really wanted to call them cattle bruisers for a moment. It thankfully didn't happen. Creep tumors out into the middle of the map here, going to be spreading out creep. Looks like almost to the halfway point now. Probably not as great as it could be. A lot of those creep tumors actually getting sniped off, but also really would be good if you could actually take a couple Lings and just hold these watchtowers, get some vision on the map. But looks like for now Anticitizen is just content to hang back and to allow that he doesn't really need to know. And you can see Caesura is actually going for as many command centers as he can here, going for a very, very fast economic push than what you would see from a Terran typically, just because you need a ton of gas to build these things. Battle cruisers are really, really good, but if you can't get them above 2 or 3 before, let's say, a big swell of Mutalisks come out, you're going to be in a lot of trouble, because they're not that good. They're not the end-all, be-all in this situation, especially when the vast majority of your other units can't shoot up. In fact, you'll notice that there's very little anti-air defense around these bases at all. Whether he engages the battle cruisers directly or not, there's going to be a lot of ability for Anticitizen to get some harassment done here. Speaking of that, a bunch of Hellions actually running up to the front here, going to kill off this Queen that has been putting down these creep tumors. Maybe no, actually Queen pursuing a little bit, trying to push the issue here. And he's like, please kill me. Please, just kill me. Just kill me. Okay. Not going to do it. Hellions said, no, you shouldn't seek death. Don't kill yourself. Don't jump off the building. Hang in there. They're letting the Queen live, but they'll probably just come back and kill her later. Mutalisks and Lings running across the map here. Again, he's going to have an advantage in the ground fight just because of the Hellions. But hey, yeah, Mutalisks. And hey, guess what they're going to get to shoot at? The Fusion Core, which unfortunately is what he needs to actually get this strategy going. This is probably not going to make Caesura very happy now that he has to rebuild that thing. And there's a lot of Mutalisks here, and there's no SCVs being pulled to actually repair these things. Mutalisks just really apparently do a lot of damage. You cannot dodge a Yamato Cannon. Running away from a Yamato Cannon is not a good idea. You cannot accomplish anything from doing so. A couple more Mutalisks coming out on top of that. It looks, at least for now, that Caesura has reached the kind of prohibitive numbers to kind of keep the Zerg back here. And he's actually augmenting this with some Ravens. This is a very good choice. Raven Battlecruiser is one of the best compositions in the game if you can get enough of both. If you can't, it is one of the most fragile compositions in the game instead, and it most likely will not help you very much. But I gotta say, Caesura is in position here to actually make something nice happen. Also, this, I guess there's a strategically placed hole here for SCVs to leave anytime they need to. 3 more. Oh, lots of idle SCVs, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll forgive him. He's going for battle cruisers. Meanwhile, the Mutaball is getting considerably, starting to grow in size a little bit here. We got basically that's 19 Mutalisks, and these are going to come into contact with a bunch of Hellions and be like, hey, look at this base you have. By the way, this is not effective against Mutalisks. If you try to mass repair against Mutalisks, what happens is the bounces actually kill all of the workers, as you can see here. And not only did he kill pretty much all of the workers there, get that Mutalisk out of there! Oh, goes off and actually does a tremendous amount of damage to the Mutalisks. Thankfully not losing any there, but gotta say, that's a decent number of workers killed. And, important thing probably for Caesura at the moment, though, is his gas count more than anything else. You can see he has 5,500 minerals and 300 gas. When you're trying to go for battle cruisers, definitely end up a little light on the gas, and you can see that's why he's trying to get so many bases. The fact that he has successfully secured them, however, means that this is becoming a scarier and scarier proposition to hold off for Caesura. I mean, not scary, not Caesura, sorry, Anticitizen. That this is just going to get a little bit frightening for him going forward from here. Baneling Nest is an interesting choice. He's going to have a lot of minerals himself, getting a lot of Lings to back this up. Not a bad move. A lot of barracks coming out here. It looks like Caesura's recognized how many minerals he has, and he's just deciding, hey, Marines are a good unit. They cost only minerals. Unfortunately, he's never going to finish them, as here comes the Mutalisks, the Zerglings, and the Banelings. Banelings rushing into the fight. Lings actually going in for the surround on the Planetary Fortress, and not even an attempt at a repair. The entire place is just obliterated. Here comes the battle cruisers coming to reinforce. Raven's actually here early, and he does pick up on that. He might be able to just snipe the Raven off before he can get much done here. And instead, it looks like he's just going to run the entire army along with that one guy, so he can hopefully outrun the Raven. He does pull that off. No PDD down or any other defenses from the Ravens. Looks like the Mutalisks are still just a little shy of engaging these battle cruisers directly. 2-1 on the battle cruisers, 2-2 on the Mutalisks. Actually, just about to two air armor. Actually, just about to finish there. I was able to take care of this base, and that does limit Caesura. As long as he wants to keep pushing the issue with these really heavy gas units, he's going to be able to get a lot done. But his battlecruiser count is starting to reach really, really frightening numbers here. We're actually all the way up to 8 battlecruisers now. And I think this is about when this composition gets a little bit crazy. Now, he is building Corruptors behind this as well. Corruptors very, very good against only battlecruisers. They can get a bit limited again. When you have Ravens to help out with the PDD and Seeker missiles, they do a lot to making this composition really, really strong. And Marines will as well. The only thing about these Marines is that they're totally unupgraded, though, so they're nowhere near as dangerous to the Mutalisks that have 2-2 as they would ordinarily be. It is still going to be an issue, especially because he's going to be wanting to focus down the battlecruisers, though, so that added DPS against the Mutalisks is going to help out a lot here. All that creep spread. This queen has been hard at work making sure that this creep gets spread across the map. Unfortunately, all those creep tumors are going to get destroyed. It's like, no, my work, why? They're like, oh, we didn't kill you earlier. Sorry about that. Bam! Fried that queen. Never knew what hit it. That's a really big air army coming in on top of that. Raven dies immediately because it was hanging out a little too far forward. Marines actually trying to engage here. All of those Yamato cannons going off. Looks like on the Corruptors. And we're seeing a little bit of a retreat here. Going to give some more ground to the Terran here. A couple of these battlecruisers are getting a little bit soft. He's actually down to 6 now. Does have some units actually backing this up. You can see still no upgrades on the Marines at all. No stim, no combat shield. I think just like usual, instincts of the Zerg is actually kicking in here, and he's still just a little bit afraid of those guys. He's going to lose these Mutalisks, though, and unfortunately there's going to be very little to actually deal with the Marines And, okay, that's a massive investment by Caesura that has basically just been swatted out of the air. Every single battlecruiser is now dead, except for the 3 that he's building. In other words, this is getting to be kind of a dark situation. Yeah, and that one battlecruiser is like, whoa, I'm way too far forward. And then the Zerg's like, hey, you're way too far forward. You probably don't want to be here anymore. Nope, and you're not. Okay, problem solved. A lot of Corruptors flying in with this army. Doesn't want to get too heavy on that, though, because big switch into Marines might actually be a little bit of an issue here. Caesura throws out the GG, and Anticitizen takes game number 2. We have a series, folks.